You know that moment when your world collapses and you realize you trusted the wrong person? I was at the police station shaking with two police reports in my hand: theft and fraud. The suspect's name? My own mother. She had sold my two cars, a 2022 BMW X3 and a 2020 Honda Civic, for $85,000 and disappeared with the money. When I finally managed to talk to her on the phone, you know what she told me? Consider this compensation for the 9 months I carried you in my womb, Marina. I deserved it. I was 38 years old, had built everything on my own, and my mother had just stolen the equivalent of years of hard work from me. But the worst was yet to come, because what I discovered afterward made that theft seem like just the beginning of something much more sinister. Let me tell you how my own mother almost destroyed my entire life. It all started 6 months earlier when my mother, Sonia, showed up at my boutique with that worried face I knew so well. She had always been dramatic, but this time she seemed genuinely shaken. "Marina, sweetheart, I really need your help," she said, holding my hands. "I'm having problems with the bank. That joint account I had with your Aunt Marcia. She passed away, and now they're blocking my access. I need a temporary power of attorney from you, just to be able to resolve these bureaucratic issues. You know how terrible I am with paperwork. I should have been suspicious. My friend Daniela had warned me thousands of times. Marina, your mother is manipulative. She uses the 'I'm your mother' card every time she wants something. But I always thought Danny exaggerated. After all, as difficult as Sonia was, she was my mother. Ricardo, my lawyer and friend, was even more direct when I took the document to him for review. Marina, this gives very broad powers. She can move your accounts, sell your assets. Are you sure? Ricardo, she's my mother. It's only temporary, for 60 days. She just needs to resolve the inheritance issue with Aunt Marcia. He sighed. Okay, but I'm putting very specific clauses in here. And look, after these 60 days, you revoke this immediately. Agreed? I signed. It was the biggest mistake of my life. The first few weeks were normal. My mother resolved the bank issues, or at least that's what she said. She seemed grateful, even took me out to dinner. Thank you for trusting me, daughter. You are everything to me. Tears in her eyes, tight hug. The perfect performance. The first sign that something was wrong came on a Saturday morning. I was opening the boutique when I received a call from my car insurance. Good morning, Ms. Marina. We're calling to confirm the cancellation of the policy for the BMW X3 and Honda Civic. Since the vehicles were sold, we understand you no longer need the coverage, correct? My blood ran cold. What do you mean, sold? There must be a mistake. My cars are in my building's garage. According to our records, the transfer was finalized 3 days ago. The request came through legal power of attorney. I hung up and ran home. My heart was beating so hard I could feel it in my temples. When I arrived at the parking lot, both spaces were empty. Empty. My legs weakened. I called my mother. Call rejected. I called again. Straight to voicemail. I sent messages. Mom, where are my cars? Message delivered. Not read. For 3 days, she completely ignored me. I could barely sleep. I lost 6 pounds. My hands shook so much I dropped a crystal vase in the store. Daniela stayed with me every night. I warned you, Marina. Your mother is a narcissist. This is a pattern. She manipulated you to get what she wanted. But Danny, they're my cars. That's $85,000. How does a mother do this? Because to people like her, you're not a daughter. You're an extension of her, an object. And she thinks she has rights over everything that's yours. On the 4th day, my mother finally answered. Her voice was calm, casual, as if she were commenting on the weather. Hi, honey, how are you? How am I? Mom, where are my cars? Oh, that. Look, Marina, I sold them. The silence that followed was deafening. I couldn't process those words. You sold them? Yes. I needed the money. You know my financial situation is difficult. And let's be honest, dear, you have a successful boutique. You can buy other cars. I, on the other hand, am going through hardship. Going through hardship? You live in a 3-bedroom apartment that my father pays for. You receive alimony. Don't raise your voice at me, Marina. I am your mother. I gave you life. I carried you for 9 months, went through painful childbirth, breastfed, changed diapers, spent sleepless nights. You think that has no value? Those cars are just small compensation for what I sacrificed for you. I started to laugh, a hysterical, incredulous laugh. Are you serious? You think being a mother is a business transaction? That I owe you money for being born? I'm not discussing this with you. What's done is done. And another thing, Marina. You signed a power of attorney. It was all legal. Don't come accusing me of anything. And she hung up. I stood in the living room, phone in hand, tears streaming down. They weren't tears of sadness. It was anger. Pure, deep anger. I immediately called Ricardo. She did what? His voice was incredulous. Marina, that's a crime. Power of attorney isn't a blank check to steal. Let's go to the police station now. At the police station, the detective listened to my story with a grave expression. Unfortunately, cases like this are more common than you'd imagine. Family members who abuse powers of attorney. I'll file a report for misappropriation and fraud. Do you have the vehicle documents? I have everything, including WhatsApp conversations where she admits she sold them without my authorization. Great. That will help a lot. I'll ask the district attorney to also investigate possible ideological forgery. If she forged your signature on any sales document beyond the power of attorney, the crimes pile up. In the following days, I discovered the extent of the nightmare. Through Ricardo, I managed to track down the car buyers. They were innocent people who had bought the vehicles in good faith through a dispatcher. The dispatcher had been hired by my mother. Worse, she had sold the cars for $85 dollars, but the actual market value was $110 dollars. She had practically given my cars away because she didn't want to deal with the bureaucracy of finding better buyers. But the most shocking discovery came when Ricardo gained access to the power of attorney records at the notary's office. My mother hadn't only used the power of attorney to sell the cars. She had tried to access my bank account 3 times. Fortunately, the bank manager, suspicious, had blocked the attempts and called me. But I was traveling for work and missed the calls. Marina, she also tried to put your apartment up as collateral for a $50 loan, Ricardo revealed, with a stack of documents in front of me. She only didn't succeed because the bank required your physical presence. I felt nauseated. She was going to leave me with nothing. Not only that. Look at this statement here. He pointed to papers. She withdrew $5 from your credit card limit on the additional card you had given her years ago for emergencies. My mother had planned this. It wasn't an impulse. It was calculated, cold, premeditated. Daniela came to my apartment that night. She found me sitting on the living room floor surrounded by documents. Marina, you need to understand something, she said, sitting beside me. Your mother isn't going to change. She's not going to have a redemption moment or sincerely apologize. People with narcissistic personality disorder don't work that way. To her, you deserved this. But why, Danny? What did I do? You succeeded. You built an independent life. For narcissists, that's unbearable. Children can't be more successful than their parents. It's a threat to their ego. My ex-husband, Paulo, called when he heard about the case. Marina, I tried to warn you when we were married. Remember when your mother spread that lie that I was cheating on you? It was because she was jealous of our happy marriage. I always knew she was toxic. The pieces were starting to fit together. Every time something good happened in my life, my mother created drama. When I opened the boutique, she faked a health problem on opening day. When I got promoted at my old job, she fell and needed me to miss work to take care of her. I later found out it wasn't anything serious. Meanwhile, the legal process moved forward. Ricardo managed to legally freeze any movement of the money from the car sale. My mother had deposited the $85 in a new account, but the judge froze everything. She called me furious. You're suing your own mother? You're publicly embarrassing me? What kind of daughter does that? My voice came out firm, cold. The kind of daughter who was robbed. See you in court, Sonia. And it was the first time in my life I called her by her name, not mother. The silence on the other end was long. When she spoke again, her voice was different, low, venomous. You're going to regret this, Marina. You'll see. Everyone will know what kind of ungrateful daughter you are. I'll tell the whole family that you abandoned me, that you left me in misery. Tell them whatever you want. I have proof. Conversations, documents, witnesses. You can try to paint me as the villain, but the truth will speak louder. The trial was quick. The evidence was irrefutable. The messages where she admitted to selling my cars as compensation for pregnancy. The bank records. The attempts to access my account and use my apartment as collateral. The testimony of the bank manager. The dispatcher. The buyers. My mother arrived at court with an Oscar-worthy performance. Simple clothes, prepared tears, the martyr posture. But when the judge started reading the evidence, especially the WhatsApp messages, I saw her mask crack. Did you really tell your daughter that she owed you that $85,000 for the 9 months of pregnancy? The judge asked, incredulous. It was a figure of speech, Your Honor. I was nervous. Message sent 4 times on different days, including one that says, You never paid me for everything I did. Now we're even. Doesn't seem like a figure of speech to me. The sentence was clear. Full return of the $85,000 plus $15,000 in moral damages plus court costs. Total, $103,000. Prohibition from contacting me for 2 years, and she still owed the difference of the car's actual value. My mother tried to appeal, cry, make a scene, but the judge was firm. You abused your own daughter's trust in a calculated and predatory manner. There is no justification for this behavior. Motherhood is not a bargaining chip. When I left the courthouse, I felt something I didn't expect. It wasn't satisfaction from the victory. It was liberation. Liberation from years of emotional manipulation, imposed guilt, of feeling I'd never be good enough. Daniela was waiting for me at the door. So? We won. Everything. She hugged me tight. You won more than the money, Marina. You got your life back. And she was right. In the following months, I recovered my assets, bought new cars, and most importantly, I established ironclad boundaries. I completely cut contact with Sonia. Not out of revenge, but for mental health. Some family members criticized me. But she's your mother. My response was always the same. A real mother doesn't steal from her daughter. Being a mother isn't having a child, it's loving and protecting unconditionally. She was never my mother. She was just the woman who gave birth to me. Today, 2 years later, I've rebuilt my life. The boutique is thriving. I'm in therapy, working through the trauma, and I learned the most valuable lesson. Family isn't blood. Family is who loves you, respects you, and protects you. The rest is just biology. And for anyone going through something similar, document everything. Don't be afraid to prosecute. And never, never let blood ties be an excuse for abuse. You don't owe anyone anything for being born. Your life is yours. Protect it.